All right, welcome guys. We're back with Shadow Empire. We're going to be continuing on. We've got this rebellion, which has sort of just started up and through here. So they've sort of these are I think they're called the London Rebels. Yeah, this is the London Rebels in through here. Leadership unknown, so we don't even know how they sort of set up. But we've got London is our main capital, and it is struggling. Everything we've got is struggling. Actually, we're sort of we're not doing all that well. We're doing okay, but just not all that well. Now we've sort of been able to push back like largely up in here. We have like different things we can do. It's sort of towards the end of our turn now. We've gone through all the decisions. We've got these guys surrounded. That should be okay, I think. This is fairly strong with what they actually have, this particular group. Lots of militia and rebels, rifle militias back in through there with the actual rebel forces. So we'll just sort of see how we go. I can move that one up. I'll just move them up as well. Get them up to sort of where we think there's going to be some other stuff going on. I think everything else is sort of looked after. We've got some big problems here, actually. Some massive problems. Food is slightly going down. That's okay. Oil will go down as we move the vehicles around. That's still okay. That's healthy. That's healthy. This is good. Actually, with those industrial points, I might just have a quick look and see what we are building. Let's just press number 1, get rid of everything else. If we see a down arrow, it means we're building something, and we're not building anything there at this stage. So let's just go and have a quick look and see what we have with the assets, and we'll just click on the actual hex itself. So bureaucratic office in through here. We are generating a lot of bureaucratic points. Now I think this only just sort of came in. I've only just got it. Yeah, biofuel is actually picking up a bit now as well, but we're using up all of it. We're going to need to get more biofuel. We need more energy as well overall. Castle, no. We do actually have industry. We've got the basic bureaucratic office in through here. This is probably not a big enough place. Let's just go and see if we can construct anything at all that's going to give us better bureaucratic offices. Yeah, we need to be at least level 2 with the city, which we're not. So I would like to get this one, but if we go back to energy, we do have solar panels here as well. It needs to go to the next level, which will give me 120, you know, like I could actually do that back at London. So if we have a look at the solar panels themselves and click on it a second time, we can then sort of see that we do 50 energy. The next one up is 120 energy. So to do this one here, it does take up a few more worker points, but it's actually not that much more to go and get that one. So I think that is probably what we want to be doing actually at this point in time. So let's just go back to construction. Energy, and I don't want to be using these scav furnaces because I do want to find artifacts in the ruins. So it's an easy way to sort of chew up your ruins to get a little bit in through here. But if we go this way, it's 3 rounds. We've got all of this. We've got it all covered. We are covered. So let's go and start this upgrade. All right, that's going to then sort of do it. Then we should see. It's funny, I'm not seeing the building as such. It normally has like a symbol to show that you're actually building. And then lithostone, back in through here. The lithostone is already level 2. So we'll have a quick look and see. We might be able to sort of build something in here as well. We've got to be a little bit careful of the industrial points. And we'll just go back to construction. So actually, before we do that one, let's have a quick look at the assets again. So we've only got, the solar panels have only just been finished here as well. So we're going to have a lot of energy, which is actually good. That at least we won't have to think about that for some time. Actually, I shouldn't have built the other one because I'm now looking at this thinking, well, there's now going to be another big influx, but we are going to need it ultimately. So we'll just go back to construction. We've got the government buildings. In this case, we don't have any bureaucratic offices, and this is a bit of an easy one. So let's go and grab that one. So we'll just start to get as many bureaucratic points as possible. So, hi, Dr. Stan, how you going? And Bobble. If you're unsure why I'm trying to get the bureaucratic points, it's because they are really the secret to the game. Bureaucratic points give you everything you need ultimately. So it is the name of the game. It's funny because it's not mentioned in the game at all. Like if I go in and look at the construction, for example, and go to the government buildings, the bureaucratic offices, it's like it tells me through here, it just says BP production per round. And this is something that I think is a bit of a failing in the game, to be honest, because it's actually, for the most important resource, it doesn't ever mention bureaucratic points. So it's got BP production, but you then have to know that that's what you're referring to. And this is really, like, this is by far the most important resource in the game. It doesn't show up in here because it's not as it's not, you don't use it in this sort of context. It doesn't show over here as well because you don't use it in this context either. I sort of wish it was more prevalent in the game, but it is the name of the game. And so if you go back into your reports, you'll then sort of see that the very, very first thing, it does go, again, it doesn't say what they actually are. So it just calls them BP, but it really should specify these bureaucratic points that we're actually then looking at. And so we want to get as many of these as we possibly can, because what they then do is they split these off into the various leadership that you've then got, and they then use that to then do all their actions. So all of your cards come from it, all of your improvements, all of your technology, all comes from bureaucratic points. So it's incredibly important. Now, our popularity has gone right down as well. Our word score is low, which is a problem. We have some big issues here. We have some big issues. Yeah, this isn't good. All right, we're going to have to... if we just go back to the Empire budget, this is actually where the bureaucratic points are allocated again. It just mentioned BP. Doesn't mention, it's weird that it doesn't actually say bureaucratic points at all in the game. Like, it just doesn't ever mention them by name, but that's actually what they are. So it's sort of, it is a fairly important thing. It's funny, I've had this scab on my lip. It just came off. Anyway, that's a pretty good thing. So Supreme Command Council, we've got the... so we've sort of got them allocated out into various percentage points. So we've now got a few of them. I probably didn't need to have as much in the Secret Service Council, but that's actually okay at this point in time. We've got to actually, when we start, that's the next thing that's going to come up is the Secret Service Council. I'll probably actually leave that one. I might reduce that one before we actually sort of put anyone in charge of that one. And we have the exact person we want to have. Let's just end our turn here. Oops, I should have pressed number 1 so we can see the various forces. They're still trying to take this. We'll see how we go. Oh, they're still moving out. They're sort of cutting off various roads and things, which is what they do. So no one's attacked us. Okay, so Kurgan, so the Interior Council, this says I've bought an exemplary CEO, social standing feat, for 500 credits. Now, this is not money that we have, I don't think. I think that's their own personal money. I've got to look at that in more deeply, actually. Oh, hang on. So Dubasillo has violated our borders and declared war on us. All right, I'm not sure exactly which one that is. It wasn't our money that they used, I'm pretty sure. All right, so we are supposed to be building other things. There's the little, actually it's an up arrow, not a down arrow. So that is showing, I just pressed number 1 again. And so we've got these have actually now combined together, which I don't mind because we're then going to be able to contain them. Yeah, this is going to be hard for us. Let's move them up. I'm going to have to shuffle other forces down. Now, let's have a look at the strategic map. In the north, the right. So they've declared war on us as well. So we're fighting a war in here. We've got non-aligned forces there. We do have to. I'm not unhappy with this one. These are religious fanatics, and these sort of been a bit of a problem for us anyway. We've only got 4 decisions to make. One of them is to bring the Secret Service Council across. I'll keep them going with where they are. Now, I'll be wanting my actual leader to do this one. We have diplomatic decisions. So Armenian Republic praises you. The President of Armenian Republic is much impressed by how you've been running London State. Especially our industrial efforts have caught the President's eye. So anyway, we can actually sort of just get closer and closer, which I'm actually happy to do. Now, this is going to cost me 250 credits. Look, I'll just do this one here. That will be okay. So the new director. Now we actually have. This is Boland, who is the. This is somebody with incredible covert ops skills. So he's actually got a real boost for spying, and so Boland P will actually be our guy. Like you can see there, the rating is just through the ceiling, and again that just comes straight out of the actual total ratings from back over through here. So whenever he rolls anything, so a result of a skill roll will be this value plus 1 die 100. So really he's already miles ahead. Hi Tenru, how are you going? So that there is incredible. So this one here is Secret Service Stratagem Generation. He is the first of our really good people. Even though he's only a cap 3, he doesn't need to learn much more. Like that is pretty much as good as it's going to get. So we will appoint him.
Yes, sir.
Now, I did want to change ultimately the budget so he doesn't have quite as big a budget. Supreme Command Council task priorities, we'll just keep on going, no changes there. And then we want to do this one through here. This is actually where we're going. I'd like you to review the current priorities of the Secret Service Council. Let me be clear that I'll fully support any shuffle of priorities you envision. So we have this one here, active field operations priority. So we've got that one there. I think that this is all, I'm actually happy with like, a third in each one. So I think we'll just go no changes there.
Yes, sir.
And so we're going to start to now pick up other cards to play. So we'll be able to then sort of start to spy on things and sort of get some more information. Excuse me. Gosh, this cough is still annoying. So we've got a relationship with them. We're at peace with those farmers. We're at peace with the Armenian Republic is very friendly. So we're friendly with them. So we don't have to do anything along that line just yet. And in fact, everything is going fairly well. We're also at peace with these as well, these Guardians, but they're under attack from the other group. They just haven't been able to break through. So really all we need to do is just keep on coming down through here and picking up the various bits and pieces for these rebels. So we'll stream these to the south. It's a nice strong group, this one. So this is the 1st Machine Gun Infantry Brigade with Sev in charge there. This one is we've still got 2 groups, one to defend against the incursions from here, and the other one to finish off these rebels in through here, this territory. These are mercanteers, which are essentially just like traders to a degree. So we will just go in and attack these just with the group that they've got. It's funny, that last one, we've got better odds by not having quite as much. There we go, they've been destroyed. Now that then opens up everything we can then sort of go and do. So what we want to be doing now is actually moving up. There's another location up in here. So they've got a town and a village, which I would like to get hold of as well. So let's just move on up. These mountains will be good for us to get into. So we've got two groups coming back up, which I will actually use both groups. I'm going to flip this one across the other side. These use energy weapons, which is why we also want to have more energy. Now we want to get into the plains. So we don't want to be using these in the hills as such. But I can still get to there. Yeah, there's more of them up the top. Just keep everyone where they are. These are nicely dug in at this stage, so but they are just out in the open. So we will actually start to push into these hills. We'll dislodge them from the hills, or we'll try to break in around them and get in behind them and sort of just cut them off, which should be another good way for us to do that one. We'll send these down to finish off the rebels. That one's fine where that is. And we'll just gobble back up that territory that we've lost. Alright, so energy 53. We've still got a bit there. We are going down at 230 per turn with what we're building. Yes, this bureaucratic office here, one turn left before we get that one through there. And we also then need to make sure that we end up just getting everything really, really friendly, like in these different villages. Yeah, 2 and a bit turns, so 3 turns left on that one there. I probably really should have done what I did a word thing where I was supposed to sort of get like a different building to try to build up London. Yeah, look at this. Population happiness is just absolute rock bottom. We are sort of getting back the danger levels, which is good. The unrest, though, is very, very high. And actually, even Lord Zon is not that friendly. I've got 4 of these to play as well. So some of these would be good as well, actually. I might play all of these. Eager industrialist. Let's do that. That's why we're going to get very, very high industrial points. So if you just go back to the strat cards. So target is going to be London.
Understood.
I can even do a second one here and get it even higher again. So just to put that into, just to show what's going on with that, if we go back to the assets. So these are public assets. These are the assets that we control. Then we've got the private assets, which are in through here. So you can see that there's private schools, private police station. Light industry is now industry level 2, and so we've sort of got a little bit in through there. You can see there production was increased with 44% due to exemplary CEO. These are the people that they're bringing in, that they're buying in to do it. Hi Falcons and Impaluco. So they're sort of, so that one's only, this is industrial points being generated for us, but they do actually do other things. This is the exemplary CEO is being brought in through this particular one from Chunk Allgood. Yeah, so with the private asset there, now do I want to keep on building that one up? An arena, we've got the zoo. I think I'll just go back to the strat cards again. Got the scientific outpost. Place a new hex perk. Because I can only have one instance of this one through here. We've already got one of these in here. And then a security outpost as well is going to add to the security. Let's go to leaders and see what else we have. We've got a bonus. So we go to the target leader. Let's try to keep Lord Zon a bit happier. It's not great, is it? Let's just see if we can do it. Oh, its failure effect is halved. But anyway, the relations did improve a little bit. Not great. So, yeah, we've got a few of these different things now. Medal of Merit. Yeah, look, I won't do that one either at this stage, I don't think. So Leah Panther's saying, how do you feel about the Republica mechanics? Do they work well with the other systems? Yeah, they do actually. They work very well. It's so much more immersive now than what it was. So they've done a great job of that actually. Or Vic, the lone developer, has done an incredible job of combining different elements in a really meaningful way, which is really quite nice. So very commendable with what he's actually got up to with it. So it's it's incredible actually what he's actually ended up being able to do. I think I'll just leave that there. I don't think I'll sort of do anything else at this stage. We do have the building will need to correct itself again just once we get all this stuff done. Let's just keep on going up. And Dora Barney is saying, what profile regime and politics are you currently in? We're playing in meritocracy, and we're solidly inside meritocracy in this instance. So we've sort of got we've been really embracing this one, and we're trying to get the meritocracy up as high as we possibly can. So that's essentially sort of where we are with everything. So if we go to the management screen and go to the profiles and through here, we're actually, we're down into here, administrative competence, for example. So we're getting various other groups sort of coming back through. What have we got there? This is a champion. I don't think we've seen one of those yet. So, but anyway, we are sort of pushing along this way as much as we possibly can. So, so yeah, we're just trying to sort of get as much of this as we can get. So what else we need through here is call to success. Anyway, so yeah, that's sort of really where we are with the management side of things. Seekers redeemed a character. Okay, so let's have a look and see who we have available. I'll try to give military guys out first, and then sort of I guess meaningful characters that we have. So if we go back to the management screen, go back to the leaders. Now the chunk I want to get rid of, because he's only a cap 1. So I'm not giving him up. This one here isn't too bad, this advisor. I'm just going to put my air conditioner on, I'll be right back. Okay. Actually, I'm just looking at his skill set. I think we might do is just, because we're not using him for anything just yet. He's good across the board. He's incredibly good, and we don't have him attached to anything. Or do we? Call him up. Oh, yeah, no, he is attached to someone. He must be attached to the Economic Council. Let's detach him. Call him. Oh, we have to do it next turn. Okay, so we'll have to wait for the next turn. That's it for now. So just try to remember. I might give you him, actually. Although, do we have all of the... Cypher? I don't know if Cypher was... I can't remember if that was someone that we actually put in ourselves. So I can't remember. I'll give you this one here. So we'll give, I don't think so. God, I can't remember now. It's sort of one of these names where it could have been a DasDemption. We don't have a cipher in the chat, so maybe I'm not sure. I just can't remember. I just would have, I think I would have gone with the various military groups. Got Ivy as well. She's incredible. Boland we've got. I mean, she's our first Cap 4 that we've got. So maybe her. I'll give this one to you, Sick. Actually, no, I won't. I will go to Cypher. I've got a funny feeling that wasn't renamed. So we'll go back the other way. That way, at least there's a chance that you're going to get banned. Done. Right, there we go. So you're in charge of the 3rd Machine Gun Infantry Brigade. All right, so they're all done. I don't think there's much else we can do this turn. So that's all. We're just setting up along here defensively, waiting to actually hit these guys. One thing we're trying to do as well, if we just go back to the management screen, is with the technology, we're desperate to get combat armor. That's why I'm thinking of actually putting the advisor across to try to then sort of pick up some of these other locations. We just haven't got that one, and it's something that's very, very important to us. It's an absolute game changer for where we are in the game at this point in time. So without that, we're quite easy to be picked off. Some of our units have got it, like these Galactic Republic troops have got them. Like if you have a quick look and see what they've got, they've actually got combat armor, which gives them like better protections and also better hit points. Whereas the common guys, the common soldiers, have only got the Enviro suits, so their hit points are crap, essentially. So they they do lose a bit there. Anyway, let's end our turn here. It's one of these games where you always want to just double check that you've done everything you needed to do. These are still holding on. I sort of hope that they hold on for as long as they possibly can, because I sort of want this myself. But we've got other things that we're fighting at this stage. We're also fighting a rogue AI as well, down in the bottom left-hand corner, but they haven't moved against us yet. So we're just sort of staying where we are. Oh, we've got refugees at the gates of Castle now. Gain 2 word. Okay, that's good. Discovered turboprop engine. This is something as well. I was thinking that we may split the Military Research Council out, because we keep on getting aircraft tech, which I don't need. I don't want, even, to be honest. I like how they've sort of, even though it's AI generated, the actual graphics, they put in whatever tech you find out through here. It's just nice little bits and pieces which sort of just add to the immersion. Investigate leader, support faction. Yep, Shadow Spy again. And then now we're starting to get the spy teams that we can start to now send out as well. And here we go. We've now seen the rogue AI down through here. I'm going to play that. We've got 8 decisions to be made. Let's have a quick look and see how we're going with our buildings. This one, I think we still have one more turn. No, still 2 more turns there. Castle, no. Nothing else we're building down that way. And 0.7 turns there for that bureaucratic office. Bring these into position. So we're going to take this one on first, push them into this position here, and then sort of destroy them. So we'll just want to get all of this first infantry group back in around that one. These we now actually have the opportunity to be able to move across. And we now have 61 recon on. This is just a rocky plain. And so we're now looking at it from the hills, and we can see that there's nothing there. So I'm just going to now move into there. There's the, this is Neris, the city. And so that's actually going to be our main target. Let's keep on getting across into here. Now, just press number 1. So that's a hill, which is going to be hard to defend, sorry, hard to attack. If we want to have a look and see what's going on with everything, like the terrain. But by the way, if you do want, like I've got a mod that actually gives me a little icon around all of the actual terrain, just so I can see for planning these sorts of attacks. It's very important to know what your what terrain you're going into, or you know, sort of like, or where you're trying to defend as well. Like, so it's, I find that this is like, even though I made the mod, it's sort of like, for me it's essential. I can't play the game without it. So yeah, more like I was saying, yeah, the mod is so useful. So if you do want this, it's a very easy mod to install. Yeah, so more like saying I always have it installed too. Yeah, I honestly just can't play the game without it. I wish it would become part of the base game, but it's and because like everyone who uses it, like, you know, they do love it. I'm not just saying that because I made the mod, but it's for me it's just so critically important to be able to see at a glance what the terrain is that you're sort of dealing with. And so in this case, you can sort of see that it doesn't do plains. So whenever you see rocky plains, this one here, you can just see there's a bit of an icon underneath that one. So if I go and click on that one, it is rocky plains, but there is a little bit of the, so the plains is what sort of, like, so that's a bit of a misleading with where it actually is in through that side. But this down through here is just sand dunes, plain sands. So these have all got different things that relate to how well a unit digs in, how well it defends, what the bonuses have, what sort of units can actually attack into it. Like, for example, the tall mountains that we see through here. And this is where, without the mod, it can be hard to sort of see what the differences in terrain. And so by seeing this one through here, I immediately know I can't put any vehicles in that one. So if I go in and click on this high mountains and hover over through here, you'll see there that down in the bottom table, it's got movement type, and it's got action point cost. And so it's then got action point cost if there's a road or a river sort of associated with it. The rivers go along the edges, but the roads go through the middle. So if there is that, it then sort of adds or you know, reduces the action point costs of specific terrain. So in this instance, you can see there that foot can go in at 60 action point cost. Wheels can't go in at all, so any wheeled units like our armoured cars, for example. But air, of course, aren't impacted by it, so they just fly straight into it. Tracked, so tanks can't go in. Walkers actually go in at the same as, so even though they're mech units, and we don't actually have any walkers at this stage, the walkers can just walk into mountains. So this is where walkers are great, like to be able to sort of take mountainous terrain. Immobile can't go anywhere. Truck logistics in through here, so it actually adds a lot of logistics to sort of try to get your supplies through mountains. So this is actually becomes an issue. Like if you've actually got a big mountainous area, you're going to find your supplies dwindle away very, very quickly. You got your organic supply. Road construction there costs a fortune to build a road through a mountain. So just being able to see exactly what's there is actually important. But also the attack modifiers. Each of these have got their own sort of ability. So you can see there that mountains are great for infantry in terms of, you can see there the the troop type for infantry, the attack modification and defense modification is 0. So they sort of attack and defend without any real benefit as such. But and then you've got the other one is the sort of like the automatic entrenchment. Like as soon as you move in there, you get 125 entrenchment right from the very, very start. And if you stay there for a number of turns, it can get up to 250. So if you don't move away. And similarly, you can see there that guns attack poorly into mountains. Motorized and tanks attack very poorly. They also don't defend well in those locations. They also don't get any sort of entrenchment. I mean, they don't get entrenchment anyway. Walkers are actually really good. Like they actually have a good, it's sort of like a good basic entrenchment, not as good as infantry, but they're up there. So all these things actually have a bit of a bearing as to what does sort of go on. So so you can certainly attack them with the aircraft, but whereas if I come back down into the hills and have a look at the low mountains, in this case we'd end up with a bit less, but still nonetheless I can actually still move across the track units can move in at the same sort of level as foot units, but they still attack at negative 50%. So tanks aren't great at fighting in the hills. So just knowing how to use the terrain is very, very valuable. If you are wanting that, I'll just minimize the game and just show you where you can pick it up, because it certainly is helpful. So if you go to ko-fi.com/DasTactic, I just put all my mods in here. It's sort of I think it informs people if they are like when I update them. So whenever I do an update on a mod, if you then just go to the shop, and then all of the different mods that I've made are sort of in through here. So the one that we're playing with is the Shadow Empire's terrain icons. And you can, and there's also, I've done one along with Mark Royer, who's also got a terrain sort of like a recoloring mod, and so I've put the icons in those as well. So anyway, but you can just grab them from here. It's completely free. Just basically click on it, put a 0 in there, and just get it now. So that's essentially sort of where it is, and then you've sort of got it at the different sort of scales to be able to then sort of see what's going on. So certainly makes the game so much more engaging. So anyway, that's a bit of a shameless plug, but it certainly does help. Okay, so Joram was saying, Daz, just logged in and I'm reacting to the title. I find I'm spending tons of time trying to fix economy now. I'm finding it more difficult than before, and I'm wondering if it's just me or not. I think it is more difficult, to be honest. I feel it's that way, and so and actually drove Barney. Sorry, I missed your comment there. So honestly, I remember playing this game, but throughout the few times I played, I never quite understood how logistics works. Just spamming truck stations. That's a viable strategy, to be honest. Like it's okay. Look, I'll go through that as well. Like just how I play the game is I always turn on. So if you go back into this is your map layers. So if I press number 1. It does these. I don't know why some of these, because you don't ever turn these on or off, but they're still shortcut keys for this one. So always have the grid on, always show the color of the regimes, which you hardly notice it. Like if I turn it on or off, you see it there slightly with the enemy regimes. But the big one is the operational logistics. Now, if you have a look at this mountain range in here and this hill over through here, it's got like it looks like it's colder than the other areas, but that's the logistics. So when I turn the logistics off, we see it a bit differently. So the way it works is it's like, where else can we see it? There's other places where logistics sort of does kick in. This is probably a good example, actually, where we've got like a road system. So the roads are coming up through here. We have like a greenish tinge all the way through this side and all the way up into here. You can see it's got like a green tinge. If I flick that one on or off, so if I just press the number 6 key, I can sort of turn it off at this instance without having the operational logistics showing. You do lose track of where things are. I'll just cover it. This isn't what your question is, but I'll just cover it anyway. This is so anything in green means it's getting full supply. Then you go into a yellowy sort of color. The yellowy color is like 25% less supply coming in. So you've got limited supply coming into the yellow range. Then you've got like this sort of cyan or bluish tinge. This is at 50% supply. And similarly on that mountain would be 50% supply. Over through here would be 50% supply. Because the logistics has to get through this area and then break across into there. So they have to come off the road. You've got a few different, and depending on like if I have a look at this location here and then just hover over that one, you'll sort of see down in the bottom there, it's got the where is it? The truck logistics of 75 is sort of like, so it increases the supply. If I just go into a rocky plain, which should be sort of like the minimal one, truck logistics of only 25. So it's easier for the trucks to get back to the road from when it's just like this. These ones here, I think, make it a little bit, like sand makes it a little bit, no, that's the same. So just across the sand they can get there. I think the big dunes like this are maybe a little bit different. No, even that's 25. So these are, so they can move through the sand, they can move through these areas fairly readily. So this is actually full supply. So when we get way out to here, we're only getting 25% supply. And then finally after that will just essentially be as if it's been turned off. And that's because we're getting zero supply. So at this stage, with the road networks that we have, like from down in here as well, these are being able to sort of get up and give us some supply up into these northern areas. So that's sort of how the road system or getting back to the road system works. So putting that on is really, really important. The next thing I like to do is actually by default is just press the L key. So if you press L, it just shows you what your current points are. Now there's other things where people will often have a look at things, for example, like you've got your used points, like how much you're actually using, and this is where we will see the logistics kicking back in. Oh, this one shows it actually to a degree. You can see down through there, green, 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 and then it goes from green to yellow, yellow to blue. And so we're sort of getting like, means this particular unit is only getting like 50% supply coming back into it. Now, having said that, if you've got any supply at all, like other than zero, food is always supplied at 100%. So food is the one thing that doesn't conform to the actual limitations of these sort of like off-road supply aspects. But these do show, and these are used points from the start of the turn, like, you know, what sort of is being pulled off the road. If I just press number 1, you can sort of see there that there's actually like a lot of, these are pull points that we sort of see through here. Then this is where the logistics is being sucked in along this road to supply the various troops that are coming back in off here. So we've sort of got like different supply. It's sort of coming off and being diminished into the various groups. And we can see again, we've got 10 supply going across into here. So there was 10 supply being applied to that particular unit. And over through here we had 93, for example. And so anything that has to be supplied to the troops has to find a way back to the road network, which is why you do want to have road networks, but you also then need to have enough supply. And actually, I'm glad we did this because looking at this, what we're seeing through here, when I went back to the current points, I'm actually not very happy with the amount of points that I have through here. 100 logistics points is not enough at all. So we're going to have to tweak that. Now there is a basic supply now that you can play with in the game, but I still like this more complex supply situation. We'll analyze this a little bit and sort of figure out what we can then go and do. So if we have a bit of a look around, sorry, that was used supply. Initial points, this is like at the start of the turn as to what we then have. Again, not a real lot of supply coming back up this way. Bottlenecks show, again, just now these are like the colors here are sort of showing, again, a diminishing return on the logistics network that you actually have along these different locations. Black areas mean that there's too much supply trying to get through a location for the network that you've got. And you can see down through here, most of what we have is at 100% anyway, but then, so it's actually okay. Even the blue is actually okay. It's not, this can be useful if you're trying to analyze, but if you've got like an area where there's just, like the black, for example, could be here. Like it could just be this one little area of black and then everything else is sort of okay after that. It means that that is then the area that has to be solved to try to then sort of allow the logistics to then sort of keep on running through the system. If that's the choke point for the logistics and it's showing black, these can still be okay. The way that logistics work is that the trucks don't start at the truck station and then move along the road, which is sort of like that's where your head goes. What they are is because every hex is 300 kilometers across, the trucks from the logistics station operate essentially between the two hexes. So there's a different group of trucks in here, different group of trucks in here, for example, all the way along. So it's actually sort of like almost like a vibration mechanism rather than actually a linear mechanism. So it's not as if one truck takes all the logistics all the way up. There's a whole series of trucks at each location. Sort of how the logistics. It's confusing to think of it that way, but that's sort of what the game does do. We've also then got the preview points as to what's going to happen next turn. So I tend to just keep it on all the time with just current points. That way I can sort of see, okay, I've got a hell of a lot of logistics going down here. And then we're sort of off down to this location. I've got more points going along a road that we're not even using. We've got more points going down to here that we're not using as well. You can see there, these little coloured blocks in here are where we actually have the where we've stopped certain supply coming through. So we've got limited supply there. You can see that we've got limited supply going off here, limited supply going up this way. But at this stage, we thought the war was going to be waged over here. So we were pushing the logistics across. The other thing we can see when we look at this particular mode is, as we come along this location here, we actually hit Castle now. And then we've got like a big number there because there's a truck station there. But then all of a sudden, even though we don't actually have any limitations into here, it's much, much weaker once it goes past this location. And so that's also an indicator that there's something wrong in that system. And I know what that is. If I go to Castle now and have a look at the assets, they've got a private transport hub, which is actually then diminishes the amount of transport points that we have. And in the hard logistics, which is what we're playing, when you hit a transport hub, it then sort of inherits what it finds there. So even though we've got really strong points getting to Castle now, it then stops that point and becomes a pretty crappy sort of logistics situation. And similarly down through here, we don't have very much getting through this other side to Lithostone. So let's go and fix this up because we do need to get as many points as possible to wage this war up this way. So, hi Tailslay Fox, how you going? And Began. And Chris is saying, I got this game and its DLC on sale. What would you advise is the best way to learn the game? Manual or YouTube videos? I really don't have a clue. Both. I did a tutorial series actually where I was. What I did with it was, and I was really happy with it because people say I tend to waffle on too much and don't really get to the point. So I made a point of making try to keep it under 5 minutes to go through the specifics of whatever the video was about, and then explain it in depth. So the initials and it was pretty well received for the game, and it's still relevant. The game mechanics haven't changed, and so in that sense, it was actually just going through. This is the important stuff. 5 minutes discussion about what that is, and then maybe another 30 minutes after that, just going into why it does it. So it's sort of so those videos you can just watch the first 5 minutes and just get a bit of a feel for what you need to be looking at. But the logistics is complex with what we actually end up having through here. So what I want to do is I want to get the logistics sort of thumping along from London up along this road. This is my critical road. We'll see other things when I go back to I will now go to preview points because I want to change these. Now, when we see these blocks, these are what are called pull points, which is a really, really clever system that Vic put in the game. When people were struggling with the logistics too much, he found that by having sort of almost like where a location will suck through as much supply as they possibly can. And so when we have like a location here, like we've got a mine there and a mine there, these have to have logistics getting to them to operate the mine. And so these require 100 logistics points. So we don't need to have the 217 that's going up that way. We only need 100. And similarly here, we've only just got 100 out along this road because we sort of only allowed enough logistics to cover for that one. You can see there we've got like a roadblock there. And so the roadblocks have been set up to allow pull points to operate. And so we've got the 100, that's what it requires. And when we see the little red dash above that one, it means it's a physical location requesting the pull points. When we see like this next one, which is I think a green, I'm a bit colorblind. I wish that they would change the greens and the yellows, to be honest. So when we see these are units. So units are saying, I need food, or I need energy, or I need ammunition, whatever it might be. They are sucking points out of the system as well. So we have like a single tank here, for example, and it's only requiring one piece of supply. So there's just one supply that needs to get out to that one through there. And this is actually interesting. Again, I've blocked off this road to only allow pull points through. And so it's saying, okay, look, this unit here requires 7. You require 1. That's 8 in total. So it's only allowing enough to go and actually look after these units in through here. So what those units are looking for is food. So they need food every turn to be able to eat. And so that's 8 supply of food going along that particular road. This is 100 supply of logistics to keep this rare metal mine operational. We have 100 up through here, but we've actually got 217 actually reaching this location, where we only need 100. So we're wasting 117 extra, or even 120 odd at that location. So and this location here has got pull points of 236. We've got like a large sort of dome farm in through there. So all of these have got different things that they do. Lithostone, you'll see, has got 73, and it's got like a blue area there. This is saying Lithostone itself as a town is saying, hey, I'm actually struggling a little bit with something. I need some extras. I've got some units that need stuff, but I also have other needs. And so that is being sucked from London, where we've got our supreme headquarters. That's actually also making requests of the logistics network, and similarly down in Castle now as well. It's just saying, I don't have enough. I need more. I need to be getting more coming back through. It only needs 158. You see this one down through here only needs 50 coming back through, and then we have this one here. We've got a unit that's down here, which is actually just drawing 6. So that's actually, if we have a look at the initial points, the use points, that 6 coming from that unit is supplying food down that way. So we don't need much along this particular road. Like, this is actually just the used points. So we need to have like a minimal amount coming along this location. You can see down through here, this is actually what we're using. So this road through here needs 216 to be able to then feed off all these different bits and pieces. We do have some that are being generated through here. The 294 can be looked after itself. So that truck station is supplying a little bit of that. Like 164 is what we need to get from London to get to that location. But we don't need much more than that. So let's go and fix all these things up. So this is, again, you don't have to play this way. You can actually turn this stuff off. But we're going to go into preview points and just sort of start to tweak different bits and pieces. If I go back up into the, which one is it, down into here, this is actually your map order modes. And we have a traffic signs area through here, which is just the T key. So if I just press T, I'm now in traffic sign mode, which means when I click on a location, I can then change what it does do. Now at the moment, we're pushing down all of our logistics down through this road to Castleknock, because we thought that's where we needed to have our army at one point. And so I haven't changed it since then. If I just go and click on London a second time, this is now the logistics, the way it sort of is worked. Now, what I've done the road that goes off to lands, whatever it is, like whatever the other group actually is I've set this one to 90%, but you notice that I'm actually, traffic signs are for truck logistics and rail logistics, but not for pull points. I'm not actually restricting pull points. Now, I wish the game by default would have this arrangement for the top, because by default, pull points is turned on. If I go and push that on there and then go back, see how these have turned off? We no longer have so anything out there, this is not going to get the logistics next turn that it needed. And so the pull points, if you're going to use this system, absolutely make sure that you've got pull points not being affected. Again, by default, that should be the arrangement. It's because your pull points are critical. And so if I have all of these, all this blocking going on, it just means that the pull points are in their own logistics network. And so by having that one there, just going back, bang, off they go again along these roads. You can see it very clearly with the pull points into these locations. If I just press number 1, you can see there that these are, if we have a look at the, going back into the used points. So in this case, we do actually have the 7 feeding this particular group, and then the 1 feeding this group here. So that's actually what's happening with those. Anyway, let's just go back into preview points again. Just press number 1. And so what we want to do is we want to flip this switch to not have as much going down to Castle No, but I still want to have a little bit more than what I think I need. So I'll either go 90 or 80% down this way. If I just go to 80, and I'm just going to go to none along that road. So I'm going to open this road up, so that all the logistics will now go up along that top area, and only 80% of the pull points will still go through, and just 80% of the supply will be blocked. So we've still got a little bit extra going down that way, but not a hell of a lot. And so I can also then customize the way things actually do work to give specific numbers if I need to. So I'll just go back. And so now we actually can see that we've got like 500 just going along this road, and then down to, we sort of hit this location. That's more than enough of what we need. I could even push this one up, but I'm just going to let that just do its own thing. There's nothing I need those to be doing, so that's actually all okay. Then we've got these coming along. Now, this road, you can see we've now got 600 going up along this road. I don't need anything going up that way. So I'm just going to go into here, turn off the pull points, but block everything. I don't need anything going up that way. By doing that, I then only have 100 going up to that mine, and the rest of it continues on along this road. At this time, it then splits into 2. And so do I need a lot going to London? No, I don't. I need it all going up this road here. So I'm just going to this location, allow the pull points through, but I'll still let 80% go along the road to the other location. So this is Litherstone. So Litherstone now is going to have like 400 odd points heading down this way. And again, when it hits this location, I really want to have it just continue off into Litherstone and not go down along this road. This road is not important to me. So I'm just going to go into here, allow pull points through just in case we need it. And in that location, I'm just going to block everything. Just going to go back. And so now we have limited supply going along this road. I mean, it splits off from here as well. And I'm happy enough with that. Like, I don't need to. In fact, what I might just do here is just go back in. Pull points have been turned off. I'll just block that one off. I'm allowing 90% along that road there. That'll do. I'll just go and click on back. So I'm just tweaking what is happening. We've still got more points coming along here than pretty much what we had there before. We've got this road is supplying these units to take on the rebels. We've got relatively healthy numbers going into Litherstone, which is what we want. Litherstone, doesn't matter which way we go with that one. but now we've got like a strong group of supply going up this way. So whereas we were 100 before, we've now got 1,000. Now, if we start to see these numbers, if I go to the current points, so I've got enough, like we've only got 100 there now, it's going to be 1,000 next turn. And so that's enough for me to just keep on going. If I started to run out of logistics, I would then need to be thinking about improving the truck station. I can also go into places like Litherstone and get their transport hub and change this into a publicly run truck station. So I can actually do that. Or I can destroy it and then build one. So there's a whole range of different things we can then go and do with those. So that's sort of where we are with those. Oops, hang on. And then down the bottom here as well with Castle No, is these transport hubs are a problem because they're just going to get in the way. When we need to expand, if we need to suddenly make use of this road and sort of start to push out, or if we need to start to attack down along here, I'm probably going to have to then take over that truck station. Anyway, I hope that helps if you're sort of trying to figure out the way logistics does work. Yeah, so 61 Rockets saying, yeah, controlling the leader seems tougher also. Yes, it certainly is more difficult. So Kylex is saying, what's the mod that shows the terrain icons on the hexes? Yeah, so this is one that I made, and I just showed that one before. I'll just go and minimize, because I've still got it here. So just go to, just get back through here again. So to find it, whoops, just go to coffee.com/DasTactic, and then just go to the shop, and in the shop you'll find the various mods that I've got. So if you go across into down into Shadow Empire Terrain Icons mod, and so you can just go and click on that one there and just put a 0 in there, like so you don't have to pay anything. If you want to buy me a coffee, that's great. You don't feel like you have to, and then just grab it, and so that will then just give you the essentially a zip file containing the graphic mod files, and it's not a mod that you install because the game doesn't actually have that sort of modding for this sort of these sorts of graphics. It does for the for some graphics, but not for these, not for map icons and stuff. So you have to replace the actual existing existing stuff, and it hasn't changed in the base game. So that's actually still you just replace it essentially. With what you have, so yeah, it's just a zip file containing all the icons, all the graphics for the game, which is so it just replaces all of those. So super cool Ant saying the weirdest problem in the game is that when you upgrade one station, you have to rebuild all the others in a chain. This increases the maintenance length, and subsequent stations end up too close together. For example, if level 1 stations are supposed to be 7 hexes apart, then after an upgrade, they need 10 hexes. You can, of course, not rebuild anything, but it will be inefficient, especially after you upgrade to tier 3. Yeah, it's sort of like that's actually that's pushing out. That's again a whole other kettle of fish. Just let me get back to the game. That's what you're referring to there. Is if I go again with the truck station. This is the bits that you're talking about. I tend not to look at this anymore because it's like you can micromanage it, but I don't worry about it. And so you've actually got like the different points, how many points are being sent through. These are also done per truck station. So this is all the logs. I can do logs per source hex. So I've got 3 truck stations impacting this particular location. So we can see down through here the truck, and then this is actually the XY coordinates of where that truck station actually is. So this is our main one, the one that we're using from London. And so it's got received 322 truck points. Now it's got sort of got like an action point, and it's also got an extension. So once it actually hits its full logistical location, it will then use up like an extra little bit as well. It's a bit complicated, that it does work. There's no brakes essentially coming from here, so from the northwest. Trucks first refocus. Now this is actually because it's now hit the next truck station. So each of these truck stations is sort of coming back through. This is trucked at 30. I'm not sure which one of these actually are. So this is actually we've got 288 city pull points have been assigned to the hex. So this is actually the truck station, I think, at the location itself. So X and then Y. Yeah, this would be the bottom one. This will be the castle now. This is the one actually that's here. So it's got 400 logistics points, and it then just it tells you where it's sending them. So there's the 4 roads coming out of this town, and it's just moving them off. You'll see there that the action points are only 50, whereas the one from here is 80, or 82 in this instance. We're getting a bit of a bonus there. And so we're using up sort of like 10 for each one of those, 10 for each one of these. So these private ones can only move along at 50 before they have to start to use their extensions. Again, it doesn't really matter until we have to start to string these things together. But even though we get the refocus, you're still better off having the truck station. So again, I don't worry about them, except for these sorts of things where this one will diminish what we end up having. So we end up with a, we've got a refocus in through this other side. So we then receive different truck points in from the northwest again. Another refocus, and then it sends out the same truck points along different locations in through there. So and some of these can be bouncing back and forwards as well, so you can end up with sort of like getting a little bit extra, but it does work. It's just very, very convoluted the way that sort of does work. There's we don't get to see those anyway. That's the yeah, it is a dark art, but as long as you've got the numbers that you require, like in this case, next turn we'll see this one will then diminish, this will then improve, and then we'll have lots and lots of logistics up through here. If you're going to be waging a war, which we will be, you'll find that the war itself will end up causing there's going to be a lot of points required to supply ammunition, and so we're going to find 100 wouldn't have been enough for us to prosecute this particular attack. We would have been struggling. So Super Cool Ant's saying, so even after upgrading to tier 3, you still have 7 hexes between stations instead of the recommended 15. No, I don't worry about it until I start to see it diminish. So so it's not 7 between. It's actually at least double that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is really, really close. Like if I go to Lithostone with this one here, go to my truck station back into this other side, you'll see there that the action points are, we're now over the actual action points in through there. But it's unfortunate we're seeing these actually, I'll just go back. If I go back up into here, for example, and again, just with this one, we're just going from London. So we received 194 points. We're over the action points, so we've gone over. There's been 2 breaks which do sort of diminish it a little bit, so we received 194. Now you can actually have a look to see, okay, did we receive actually we did actually receive a little bit more, so we've got 215 received there. So it only set, because it now went across, it diminishes slightly. Again, not enough to worry it. It's really only if you sort of get to the end. This one is going to be, see, this is 215 to 215. The action points are still within the limits of where it's coming from the location. So I don't worry about it. Like don't sort of you don't have to micro this. But we are receiving 215. We're actually then we're also then sending off like the 215. So we're not losing anything here with the action points. We're within the limits. So in this case, I've got like eight locations, and then it slowly starts to sort of diminish after that. So if I sort of go up into Cleon and through this other side, it's now received only 194 from the 215. So it's diminished a little bit, but it doesn't turn off. It just sort of slows down. So again, what I would end up doing, if we get Neris, for example, if I make that into a full truck station, like if I take over the truck station there, that will then take up the shortfall, and so it won't really matter that much. Or I can actually then find a way through to build a railroad to sort of maybe come up through this other side, avoid the mountains, and just go straight to Neris that way. So if I still struggle, I start to build railroads, because that will then allow me to get like a lot of logistics straight up into the other location. But in these cases, these are so close that I don't have to worry about it. So yeah, don't stress about them. They're not really they're not worth worrying about, to be honest. It's as long as the numbers look okay, you'll sort of be okay. And we'll see even the we'll just end our turn after we'll just process this one and then see the numbers as they go up along through here. So this one, Richfield wants a special exemption. So some of them are for it. Now, democracy goes down, which I'm actually happy with. I don't want to be promoting anything other than meritocracy. Let's just do this one here.
Yes, sir.
Yep, so we'll do that one. National budget allocations. This is actually what I was looking for before. So we've got the Economic Council. I'm going to reduce this one. So I'm just going to go and push this one down to say 15. Lock that one in. The Secret Service, I'm going to put that one down to say 10. Interior Council, I'm going to have that one running at around about say 12. The Supreme Command Council, I'm going to move that one down to 15-ish as well, which then allows my military to start to dominate a little bit. And I'm thinking that I'll actually push it even a different way. We'll go sort of like 30-18. So we'll just do it that way there. Now this is going to piss some of the people off.
Yes, sir.
Yep, so Private Joe went right down. So most of them are actually a bit pissed off with this one through here. Yeah, so we've lost a fair amount of, because we've reduced their budgets by so much, but we have to do it. We have to find that combat armor. So that's really what we're looking for. Economic Council tasks. Now, I don't really need to be looking at this one, so I'm just going to go no changes there. Independence rallies in Lithostone. Sending the troops to crack down. Now, he doesn't want to do it. Actually, most of them don't. I'm going to do nothing. So we've got population join the rebels, unfortunately. Minor worker strike in London. Again, just ignore them because these don't really promote what we've got. So we'll just allow the unrest to go up. This is London is really struggling.
Understood.
Refugees at the gates. So we've got this one here. So let them in. We've got a few that don't really want us to do that. Let only the women and children in for temporary care, or let them all in for good. Yeah, actually, everyone sort of is happy to do this one. So heart goes up, mind goes up, morality goes up. Danger, we don't know how that's going to go up, but there will be more danger, of course. So we'll do that one because that's what everyone wants.
Roger that.
And so we get an increase with the population as well. Danger was increased at that location. Now we do actually have, we can get Lithostone into a big town up to level 3, but I'm not going to do it. I'm going to do Ask Me Later. So I'm not going to actually do that one just yet until we get them established. We don't want to be sort of, with these peripheral towns, we prefer to get them really stable and then do it, but at the moment they're not stable enough. So we'll just go and do that one. And then we've got diplomatic decision. So they praise us. This is the Military Research Council von Schweinhund. Yeah, we can sort of, I can just do this one here. Yep, I'll just do that one.
Roger that.
Right. All right, so when we have a look now at the at everything we're sort of building, these are all improving, which is good. We're still building in London. So still 2 turns left there. Still 1 turn left there with the bureaucratic office. And Castleknoe is no longer building anything. We do have a bureaucratic office there, though, as well. What I should be doing is starting to pick up, if I go back to the culture or the civilization scores and just sort of see what they've got. We don't have any health, security, education, or entertainment points in here at all. And I think what we'll do is we'll just go back to our strat cards and just go to zones. Yeah, the security outpost there. I might play that one on Castleknoe.
Roger that.
And just so we can sort of get some basic stuff in amongst these. So that's going to then give us another, there's a security outpost now right on that corner. We're going to have to go and sort of protect that, but this one's going to give me a little bit extra, just 100 security points. in Castleknock, and so Castleknock ultimately will now end up having the security points will start to go up. But we should start to also now build the other things that make this into a happy society. And so this will be things, for example, like getting hospitals and stuff like that. So if we go back into the build queue, construction, the government buildings. So we've got a hospital, we've got barracks. We can't get that one yet. The city needs to be a higher level. But I think I'll throw this one in. So we start construction there.
Roger that.
And Lithostone as well. We're sort of just getting towards the end of that one there. Go to the government buildings. And so again, hospitals and barracks. At the training point, yeah, not that we need it just yet. Look, I think I'll still throw this one in.
Yes.
So we're sort of spreading out the, it's going to be a bit more difficult with everything that's going on. All right, let's see how we go with this one now. He's now saying it's hot as hell in Castleknock. Yes, it is indeed. Yeah, so and Shinzadi is then saying, thank you for continuing to play Distant Worlds 2. I almost always learn something from your playthroughs. If you have the opportunity to update your tutorials, that would be great. Yeah, there's a few games where I'm thinking I wouldn't mind actually redoing the tutorials. So Distant Worlds 2 is one, Age of Wonders, this game, things like that, for example, I think would be... even Dwarf Fortress, when they bring out the next update, I'll probably try to focus a bit more on doing actual recorded tutorials. Bought a monument at Asset, so for 500 credits, this is good. This is good stuff. So they're sort of just improving their cities, which is nice. Time of Confidence, so that's good. And we've got a spy ring now that we can send in. I might do that now. Let's go and see what's happening with this rogue AI. I want to know what we're going to be up against, because this is going to be difficult. I'll just press number 1. But we can now see that we've now got like the 1,000 points that we thought were going to go along there. The current points are, we've actually sucked a fair few of those out. These guys are now starting to move away from where we've got them trapped. I don't mind them getting back to Neris, because if we have a look at, if we just press number 1, this is actually just on a rocky plain, which means it's going to be very, very hard for them to defend. So they're moving back out of this trap, and so we will actually move them up. We also have these now, where we can sort of start to push these together. So we'll surround these properly. So next turn we'll then be in a better position to look after those. Get the leadership across. Now these, again, the fuel is going up, which is nice. So let's bring these up. Just, we can see that there's hard recon going into here. Like, I've only got 13 recon, so if I march that straight up into there, we could be ambushed. In here we've got 28. It's still not what we need. Like, if I hover over the recon, we can see that we need 42 basically, and that one to be able to then make sure that we can see what's going on. That's why we need these scout cars. That one there, we've got 77, so we know that that one's safe. So let's just move on up. Some of these may have better recon, the GR grade, yeah, recon 4. So these machine gunners have got better recon than the standard troops. So their recon is just 1. And so this is, the recon is essentially their ability to be able to spot what's going on. But these are Galactic Republic grade troops, so they've got better tech. So if I just move them on up, by moving them in there, that's now pushed that up to 74, so we can see what's actually in there. Not that I can move anything else in there just yet. We'll just keep these sort of coming along. So this one here, I know that I can move into there safely, but I just still don't know about this one. I might as well do it, and then just have a bit of a look around. we'll start to sort of push these across. We control this one, so we'll just start to move up. We've got recon there of only 21. Let's just keep that one going there. That's one now we've got recon of 29. It's now recon of 39. I'm pretty secure that that's not going to be, there's not going to be anything in that location. So let's just move across. Let's now cut that one off as well. So we've actually done that one. We've got 19 recon in there. And again, I need about 42 in each of these to be able to be sure. But if we get close to 40-ish, I can be fairly confident there's not going to be anything that we have to really worry about. Let's just keep on moving these up. So we've got a big group in there. This has now sort of been cut off. And again, I sort of want them to attack me. And we'll now just keep this road open. So they can't really do much else. That's okay. And then we've got this group for next turn. Just get them surrounded. These are all okay as well. And again, we've got enough points down there to make it healthy. Okay, we're now starting to see movement down along this way. So if we end up being attacked, we will have to be a bit careful. We do actually have a Velociraptor here, which is not that strong, to be honest. It's a medium tank. There's nothing else I can really bring out, I don't think, to help that one. No. Nope, not at this stage. Not until we remove this, then we'll have to go down that way. Let's go and send our spies out. So we'll just go back to the strat cards. Go back to zones. Go back to target. Target this zone through here. And the stratagems. We should end up with some spy cards. Actually, where is that? Covert ops. There we go. So we've got send a spy team, send an individual, or send a spy ring. So we'll send a spy ring to Amanus, which is the Amanus territory. I want to find out information about what's actually in there. So, oh, hang on, this is so that's support faction. I need to send this ring in through here. So what we end up having here is the difficulty of sending in 6 spies is going to be 68, but we have a die 100 plus 131. So I'm just going to execute that stratagem. So we rolled 142, so we actually ended up rolling not much, to be honest. We only rolled 11, plus that to 131, and then we end up with 142. So, but it's still enough to send those 6 spies in there. We've still got 2 spies in here as well. 6 is enough for us to be able to see what's going on in the next phase. Let's just go back to the targets. Where else would we like to see? This is non-aligned forces. This is a... we do have some recon in there anyway, just from our dealings with them. There's non-aligned forces in here. I might just send a spy in there as well. Like just 3 spies.
Yes, sir.
Just want to see if there's anything that we have to worry about. Then we've got non-aligned forces up this way, and as well as... What do we got there? This is... minor faction there. Now we're friendly with them. Don't know why we can't select that. Already got that one there. We've now got 12 spies in there with what we've just done. This is, again, there's a bit of an unknown out through this other side. So we've got this one here, we've got 6 spies in there. And because we're rolling big numbers, we're sort of doubling the amount of spies that we're sending. I might send it out this way and just sort of see what we can spot. That one wouldn't be bad as well, just because we've got the army here with this big mountain range that sort of runs through. Let's just go and send 3 spies this way.
Yes, sir.
So yep, critical success. So it doubles the number of spies, and I've just got some of these as well. So we'll just go this way.
Yes, sir.
So that's 2 spies. I'll just send one more group.
Yes, sir.
There we go. So that'll do us. So we'll start to now pick up information about what's around us. In the next phase, still got 3 decisions to make. So Guardian's off for technology. Now we're down to 1800. Gas-powered small arms. You know, I think I might do it. Let's go yes.
Roger that.
So we'll buy that from them. I just really want the combat armor. So they're wanting a non-aggression pact. I'm happy with that.
Roger that.
So we're getting on well with this other major faction. Senator for extradition. So a former senator from Emmanuel Republic has been living in London state for years. He's fled to us after his country abolished its Senate. He was welcomed because he offered to share his great knowledge. However, now Emmanuel Republic is requesting his extradition. If we won't cooperate, they threaten to make life harder for our traders. Now, no one wants to do it because of meritocracy. So everyone really wants to not do this one except for, that's actually the president of the Emmanuel Republic. So we're going to have to stick to our guns here.
Roger that.
So, yeah, unfortunately, you have to say no. The relationship went down a little bit. It's just the way it goes. Okay, let's end our turn here. So this, I'm a bit concerned about this because these are probably walkers. Walkers do very well against tanks. You know, I think I might pull back. I don't get the support there in the hills with the tanks. We get into the hills there. So we've left this scientific outpost unprotected. All right. Now, by sending spies in as well, we do get better recon in different locations for when we do attack. So the spies will be useful. Yep, they're trying to extract themselves. Yep, this is a problem. They're not big enough to be able to push that one back. Uh-oh, we've got an ancient weapon that's triggered in castle now. What does that mean? We'll find out. Okay, we've now got mechanized artillery. That's going to make the artillery a lot more effective. And we also picked up some new political stratagems. So we've got so workplace pride. This is a uncommon stratagem in the political stratagem pack. So this one here, when we see this little curly bracket, that means it's meritocracy. So provide your workplace pride regime feat. So regime feat affects if you're proud of your work, you'll be more happy. So +2 happiness for workers and population. That's good. So so no role required for the stratagem. You will provide you with the workplace pride regime feat. So regime feats are really, really important now in the game. So that's actually a really great one. The big asterisk there is showing that one. These then show that these are very, very rare. So we've got a GR Walker mercenary. So a famous mercenary GR Walker troop joins you. We'll provide you with a GR Walker subunit. So that's actually useful as well. Very rare stratagem to find. We also have a mediator. So we'll give this mediator leader feat to selected leader. So this political stratagem belongs to the meritocracy category. It's a very rare stratagem. So it's normally executed by the Director of Applied Science Council. Provide you with a leader feat mediator, which does the following. So the leader is versed in the art of meditation. Meditation. Don't know what meditation is. Clarity thus obtained helps the leader absorb new wisdoms, increases experience growth. So no role required for the stratagem. We'll give this leader the meditator. There we go. So it allows them to meditate or meditate. And then we've got the meritocracy hail. So this is who is the best leader we have. Will improve the chances of the leader, not your faction leader, with the highest suitability rating to become the faction leader. So I won't do that one just yet. We'll keep that one, but this one here is a good one. But who do we give it to? It's essentially going to improve their capabilities. My mind is going to the military council, like the military researcher, because we need better out of what we're getting out of that one. This one here we definitely play straight away. All right, just missed that one. Yeah, so we're now seeing the walkers in through here. These are 10 sentinels that are coming back through. So this is an AI walker, deadly piece of ancient technology. So so these have got like different abilities. These are very, very strong, like extremely strong. So we're going to need to, yeah, well actually they're not great up against, their hard defense is only 97. So we will have to, yeah, build these up. Oh, if I've split my forces up incorrectly here, I have to. I've put the different colours in. I'm a little bit colourblind, and that's actually that's showing there. I might just go and change. If I just go back to the unit information, and then change the colour if I've got the HQ. So just change it to a green colour and update. That way we'll just see them as being different to the others. All right. Well. Because I want to sort of have just the group from the same force sort of going in to do the attacks. If I start to add the others in, it makes it weaker. Yeah, so I probably don't really want to be doing those. That one there adds a lot because it's Galactic Republic troops. I might do this and just keep on pushing hard here. Actually, if we have a bit of a look, the the attacker, we do actually have good recon here anyway, 206. So the recon I'm pretty happy with. I don't need to be changing that one as such. It's terrible odds, but we might. Well, I think we're going to have to wear this one down a little bit. So let's just go and do the attack.
Engaging enemy.
And just slowly sort of destroy it. We've lost a lot here.
Mission success.
We did win, but at great expense. We lost 16 subunits. I don't think there was anything that was too tricky there. Yeah, these were just basic units that we actually had. So we can replace those. They're replaceable. None of these guys lost their lives. I wish that one had, but anyway, that's not the case. So now we can start to move back and get these, even though they're much more diminished than what they were, across to defend against the robots. And these should be coming back up. So keep them coming up. These guys can then take over this portion. Now, if we go back in, we now have recon down this way, and we can sort of see what's in this zone. So this particular location, if we go back to the strategic map and have a look at this one through this other side, you're not seeing the amount of spies there. No, that's okay. So if we go and have a look at the, where do we see that? Covert Ops. So we've got the 12, we've got 42 recon in there at the moment, so we're starting to now at least pick up where things actually are. We've got 7 recon there with only 4 spies. This one here, we've got like a fairly good recon. We'll start to be able to pick up units in through these locations as well. Yeah, this one, looks like it's been sort of, there's a minor faction there, York. So we can start to sort of pick up other things. This is another major faction, a federation on the other side of this group. Then we've got this minor faction in through there. Another territory, a minor territory back in that location. And so we've got like, this is a big area of just nothingness. Yeah, let's just go back out. So that's their sort of where they're based. We're not getting enough information in here just yet, so we'll need to sort of get more and more recon. And we don't have enough yet to be able to see what's coming in. But there's just some like a lot of troops down here, but most of them are just sort of rattling on up the top there. I'll just move that one back to the scientific outpost. Then we'll bring these across. I think I'll move this one up now to sort of help with this attack. And we'll just keep on pushing up now. And we want to push this out as quickly as we can. So this is actually going to go back down and help with this cataphract will actually be good enough to take on the other group. Like this is a very, very powerful unit. So swap those things over. And then we've got this as well. So I sort of had the wrong pieces in the wrong places with what I was doing. This one has to go back to London. That's the garrison for London. Really here, I think I'll just push. These are sort of a bit useless with what they're doing. We'll just still keep them with what they're getting up to, but yeah, there's nothing much we can do with those really. All right, got 7 decisions to make, and yeah, that'll be okay once we sort of bring all these different things back up again. Oil is going down, which is what we'd expect. Everything else is looking pretty good. Let's just go back to our build queue again. So just go and press number 1. So we'll have a look now at the assets here. So we now actually have the construction just finished on the solar panels. Let's have a look and see what else we can then go and build. So for government buildings, we need to be at civilization level 3 to get these ones in through here, which would be great, but we just can't quite do it yet. We'll end up getting fairly solid energy as well. So we've got the Rad Treatment Center, the barracks, upgrades. We can get the High Command. That's an easy one. Industry, we've got Industry 2. That's going to be useful as well. We are going to need to get more industry. And ultimately this would be good as well. Energy, we don't need any more of those. Mining, we don't need those either. We don't need those. So I think industry.
Understood.
We'll start that upgrade. With the stone, we're still building, so 2 turns left on the hospital, and same here, half a turn left in here on this hospital. This will then start to sort of improve the population, which will then improve the economy. So they'll sort of all end up sort of moving on from each other. All right, now we are going to have to open this up as well, just to allow the once we get the logistics in through here. So let's just press the T key, get the traffic signals, and I'm going to change this one to say 60%. That way we'll just start to sort of get some movement along that road. And I might block that off completely down this way because we really don't need it, so we'll just go and go and grab that one. We've got enough coming from Castle now anyway, but we'll just start to sort of allow us to start to get the military across into this location. That'll do us. Let's press number 1 again. Decisions. Now, zone decisions are usually the bad ones. So sending the troops, we don't want to do that. Investigate. We'll keep on doing these investigations, which are always hard.
Understood.
Yeah, just a failure again. There's more rebels. We're going to end up with more rebels we're going to have to do. Ancient weapon triggered in Casino, so excavation works cause a sand-covered a hidden AI weapon to trigger. Although the robot is not fully functioning and is immobile, it is causing huge destruction in a radius around it. Casualties are mounting very quickly as I speak. So can I count on your support? So yes, we will, of course, support these.
Roger that.
Now that was a success. Managed to limit the damage substantially. So we did lose a few workers, etc. And rebels in Litherstone. Give our full support. Now they're going to trigger as well.
Yes.
We better see where they are. There they are, right next to them. Just one group. Just go and do that. They're going to take this road. Just keep on putting the pressure on. One thing we do need to do is also just get replacement troops. Okay, that's now used up all of our industrial points. This is why we need the combat armor, just to sort of stop us from bleeding troops off like this. 4 decisions. They're offering technology for Gore's small arms. I just can't afford it.
Roger that.
Military Research Council task priorities, again, no changes there.
Affirmative.
And now, we still don't want to be really doing anything here just yet. We do have the motorbike infantry, which I could develop these up. That wouldn't be bad. No, until we get the combat armor, it's just not worth it. The mechanized artillery, though, we could actually do this one here. So, look at the weights of these. This is to soften things up. Let's just try an 88. Then we'll go with the... we won't go with much steel plating, so we'll just go with 25mm plating. So it'll because it won't really be used in much. Now this is the effects here. This is the diesel engine. We shouldn't have to need much more than a medium, I wouldn't think.
Order received.
Let's just go that way. So this will just become something we can then just have along with the troops. Training opportunity. So we've got mind or enforce. Again, doesn't really matter.
Roger that.
So we'll just go that way. All right, so we still have problems in around the place. Actually, one thing I can do is just move this one across. So they'll try to block roads and do things like that. Okay. Will these get aggressive? Who's that group? That looks like another major. Now we'll be wanting to deal with them before the major gets there. Ah, here we go. We've now got combat armor, finally. God, it took long enough to get that. Now we still have to research it properly. Yeah, they haven't moved, which is okay. Yes, this one in here. This is major regime. Culture unknown. We definitely want this. Now we don't know what we're dealing with up there just yet. There's big numbers there. I don't think they'll have enough to do what they needed to do to actually take that this turn. So let's just get ready. That one's down out in the open. I don't think I'll do it. Good recon there. Ooh, they've already got tanks. So we can see what the enemy have got now. So this is one of their the third light armor infantry brigade is sort of what they actually have. So they've already got these bar tanks, a light tank, 60mm howitzer, 50mm steel plating, heavy diesel engine. Wow. we're so screwed here, to be honest. Like, we really are. It's just we're so far off the of what we should be doing. So they're doing incredibly well. And what else they got in here? So even their troops have already got combat armor, of course. So much better than ours. So we're going to really struggle if we have to go up against these guys. Like, really struggle badly. All right, well, let's see what we're up against there. So we'll just go back to the strat cards, go back to covert ops, and we'll send in spy teams.
Yes, sir.
So we've got a fair few in there at this stage. They'll hunt them down, but we'll still just do that. God, we're so far behind. This is really scary, actually. These were coming back down again, but we're now going to have to switch again. There's nothing much else there. Just keep this blocked off. That means we're going to have to send these back to deal with this threat. Move them all up. All right. Decisions. Investigate. We'll do this one again. It's way too hard for us, but anyway, we'll give it a go.
Roger that.
Critical failure. Yeah, this is terrible. Like I don't like these. I don't like this mechanic. I've got to say. The actual difficulties are just too much. Even though everyone wants us to do it because meritocracy goes up. Like the average for us is like 80 odd, and so this is double. It just feels unfair. This the way that it sort of works with the random numbers. I really don't like this mechanic. I never have.
Yes.
We got a success there again. Just that is just pure luck. Anyway, we'll just keep it going. Crescent helping fight Syndic cells. No one wants to help. This one does. Oh, the advisor. We didn't actually move him to anywhere else.
Standing by for orders.
We're going to attach him to the military council.
Aye, aye, sir.
Oh boy, he's gonna be super unhappy. Again, I don't like this request. Natural born killer, make him a commando, I guess.
Copy that.
All right. Yeah, I've got to say some of these sort of things that come in they're so random, and they basically upset the game, which is I find that frustrating. I wish they weren't anywhere near as prevalent as what they are in the game. If looking for negatives for me, that's a big one. Just the amount of events that pop up that where you don't really have a win. Like it's sort of it's one of those things where you're on a hiding to nothing all the time with those sorts of things. There's no easy way through, or there's no clean way through with it, which is very, very frustrating. So I will actually. Now, what else are we going to do? There was something else we needed to do, I think. Still building. So we've just finished at Castle now. Yep, construction finished on the hospital. So this will start to sort of then push the happiness up. So we now have health points. We don't have education. Might have a quick look at the management screen. The Economic Council is sort of... I really should move... We've done all the research we can, but we haven't actually done what we need to do yet. So I'm going to go and talk to the Economic Council. So Private Joe, call, change the research target. Again, I've now wasted time with this. Let's go with the university. So we'll get that one done. And we should also have had, if we just go back to the management screen again, where is our guy? So we'll give him research targets now that we've got the other one. So we'll just go and do that one. Combat armor. So we're now going to start to research combat armor and get that one done. And then once we've got that, we can then start to sort of redesign our troops. Okay, we'll end our turn here. And then I'll probably have to get going fairly soon. Yeah, so they're going for it. Oh, they've taken it, damn it. Damn it. That's a very, very annoying. This is where I feel like rage quitting when this sort of stuff happens in the game. So yeah, they've now broken through as well. Just okay, that's all right. Okay, we've got 300 GR grade machine gunners. So these are now isolated. Now we have to split everything back again.
Move it now.
Don't mind these suffering a little bit. That's okay. I just needed to do that because I need to go back this way now. Just one thing I forgot to do was to pick up the replacement troops. Alright, so if we go back in, nope, we don't have enough to build anything. Actually, our troops have been used up. We don't have any more recruits. Well, damn it. Damn it, damn it, damn it. I would have liked to have gone in there. Jeez, we just missed out. These are hostile as well. Theocratic regime. Well, what are we going to do? This is now where this mod is going to pay dividends. Because we're going to need to establish a front line here. Because they will get aggressive. But unfortunately, we've lost Neris. And Neris was a reasonable town. It was bigger than the other towns. That is really, really disappointing. that's rage quit. That's rage quit time now. Oh, hang on. They've got a big city there. One there. Yeah, no, I don't think we're going to have any real hope of holding them back. They've got a small town there. So that's large, this is large. Yeah, no, we've got no chance in hell of doing this. It's unknown zone there. Extend all the way over here. Which we don't know how many cities they've got in there as well. I think that this game is over, to be honest. I really can't see us squeezing out of this one. Like that is when they decide to go for us, which won't be that long. Yeah, we're going to be absolutely decimated. So we're way too far behind. So I think I might call it to a close now. And even though we didn't actually end up fighting them, just what they've got is just well beyond us. Like it's, what is victory screen zone population? Where was it? Victory overview. So we're coming last. So victory score of 10. This is the Bruderum. They're not even winning. This is another group as well. Actually, is that them? Hang on, let's see. Who is that? Yeah, this is Bruderum in through this other side. So if we have a look and see those reports. So the other two, so this one here does have the most population. Like it's got double our population. And they control double the planet, the amount on the planet that we've got. And I don't think I won't be able to hold them back because we just don't have anything close to enough. So I've scratched around really without doing much for a large portion of the game, which I think is ultimately that's going to kill us. So I think I will actually call this one here. I really can't see us breaking, like we're now so far behind. Like our troops, again, as an example, You know, all of theirs. They've leveled up already their basic units. So their hit points are massive. Their defenses are massive. Even against armor, they're good. So, yeah, they've got their actual base design is also very, very good. So these are just exceptional infantry. We've got grenadiers as well. Again, about the same. Whoops, that's not it. Close the design log. Grenadiers again. I'm not seeing the others, but and then they've also got the tanks as well. So they've got tanks with all of their forces. Yeah, they're going to be absolutely just way too much for us. But anyway, I do have to get going anyway, so I'm going to leave it there, guys. So thanks for watching. So yeah, I don't think we have a hope in hell of getting back this one here. So Lascelles is saying, what point should you get the trains and railroads in the major cities to the capital? So this one here, if I got this city here, this would be worth getting a train station to, just because it's beyond the truck range. So it just goes beyond that particular one there. But anyway, I'm going to leave it there, guys. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow if you're around. Actually, I'll be playing on the Slytherin channel very, very early. There's a special event for like playing against the devs, a multiplayer game of Scramble, like the World War II aircraft game, which is a really cool game. Anyway, did they just get lucky? No, we were unlucky. We didn't get our combat armor, so that was one thing. So there's a few things: mismanagement and bad luck for the two aspects that we actually ended up having. If we have a look at the tech, we were desperate to get combat armor and just couldn't get it. So we're still now just researching that one now, and we've basically got everything else except for that. So that was very, very frustrating. So that was, and there's nothing much. There's still a few other things we could have got as well. But I like to get that one. I like to get the side skirts as well for the tanks. And so I guess we could have missed and got other things. But anyway, it just wasn't favourable for us. And we just never grew. Like we're struggling with our happiness. Like happiness is such a big problem in the game for us. The game is certainly harder than what it was. Like London never really sort of took off. It sort of was just a... like I didn't spend enough time early trying to get things set up, but also having said that, the other majors just dominated. Like they obviously just sort of smashed their way through. Like they've able to do an awful lot. But anyway, I'm going to leave it there, guys, and so I'll catch you tomorrow.